Yahoo! Good morning, everyone. Hey, welcome to the Temple of the Living God here in St. Petersburg, Florida. We're glad to have you. We're glad to have you. And maybe next time you're in town, stop by for an actual visit. But keep watching us online. If that's your thing, we're okay with it. You guys ready to sing? Yeah. We got a great song to start the day off with. Tap your toes if you want.
Sound familiar? You can tap dance to this too.
Blue skies smiling at me. Nothing but blue skies do I see.
Bluebird singing a song. Nothing but bluebirds all day long.
Never saw the sun shining so bright. Never saw things going so right.
Noticing the days hurrying by when you're in love. My, how they fly.
All those blue days, all of them gone. Nothing but blue skies from now on. Garrido on the keys, Lonnie Nichols on the drums. Never saw the sun shining so bright. Never saw things going so right.
Noticing the days hurrying by when you're in love. My, how they fly.
Blue days, all of them gone. Nothing but blue skies from now on. Nothing but blue skies from now on. Yeah. Thanks, y'all.
Temple? Yes. Let's just shout out with joy. Today we have Reverend Carmen Lusis as our speaker on the topic, Get Ready, My Soul. For my inspirational reading, I'm taking a page out of Unity's Daily Word. Free. I am one with freeing, guiding force of God. When I think of freedom, I imagine a bird in flight, soaring above the earth. As the bird guides, it seems to effortlessly move in the air. When it flaps its wings, it's moving upward and forward against the forces of gravity. Likewise, I open my mind and heart and feel the freeing force of God within. This force is powerful, peaceful, and I give myself over to it. As I do, I overcome stifling feelings, stress, or doubt. I trust in God, and I move forward and upward with renewing purpose and confidence. Just as the bird overcomes gravity to fly with purpose, I overcome challenges and circumstances and fly with purpose. So we can say with confidence, the Lord is my keeper, my helper, and I will not be afraid that anyone do to me. Hebrews. All right. And now we have absolutely wonderful music with Miss Carol Mitchell.
Would you turn the lights down a little bit, Steve? Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to a deeper kind of love, to a sweeter kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Everything I've ever done, everything I've ever seen, everything I lost or won, everything I've ever dreamed has brought me here to this present moment here, to a new beginning here, and I'm seeing life so clearly now. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to a deeper kind of love, to a sweeter kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my secret source. Here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to a deeper kind of love, to a sweeter kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul.
Thank you, thank you. Anybody have a few tears? Who we are as divine expressions is to be treasured, is to be celebrated, to be valued, and to be appreciated. Do you agree? Yes. When we awaken into a higher consciousness, we evolve, acquiring a new perspective on life, even realizing that each of us is amazing. There's a version of the well-known story told by a beloved spiritual leader of the 20th century, Dr. Emmett Fox. Perhaps some of you recognize his work. And he teaches one of the most important lessons that human beings ever have to learn. And it's about the butterfly. And we all know the story. And what seems for a very long time, the butterfly lives as a larva, and sometimes also referred to as a worm. And Dr. Fox refers to it as the humble butterfly. The caterpillar lives on the green leaf, in the garden, in the forest, and that's all about it knows. That's its life. Going from one leaf to another, just munching away. And then one day, the caterpillar experiences certain stirrings that are occurring within. And the green leaf just doesn't seem to be fulfilling anymore. And the caterpillar becomes moody and discontented, yet there's a very important component here. It's a divine discontent. So the caterpillar now is feeling a deep-seated need for a bigger and finer and more interesting sort of life. And something within him or her is saying, "Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in for a new kind of life, a new kind of breathtaking experience." And that gentle stirring within the caterpillar tells him or her that where there is true desire, there must be fulfillment and contentment. And so the remarkable change takes place, the metamorphosis, and the butterfly emerges from the cocoon as a beautiful, graceful expression, and now blessed with wings. And instead of crawling about unrestricted, the caterpillar soars above the plants, the trees, and even above the forest, free and unhindered, in a whole new enlightened experience. As we each go within and allow for our transformation to occur, our metamorphosis, if you will, we too can emerge, coming into our own, being true to our own self, and soaring as high as we let ourself, with a big S, soar. Every decision that we make can reset the stage for our next adventure. In the midst of darkness and struggle, we can always access the light within ourselves. Yes? Yes. Yes. And in any moment, we have the ability to experience a transformative power that helps us to remember our truth, our God-given gifts, the love that we are, that we have always been. And in those moments, we can affirm that our inner core is getting ready to be altered, to dive into something that will help to elevate our consciousness to new levels of understandings. In many of the metaphysical teachings, we are reminded that there is an infinite intelligence that supports the well-being of who we are. We know that health, wholeness, and vitality are the truth of who we are. That is our birthright. And every time we go into that place of silence, We are being called to become more aware of our divine nature and to develop its qualities. It's as simple as that. In the sacred place within each of us, we will experience new shifts. And in time, hopefully, we all learn to totally rely on our divine nature and the love and the wisdom that are always within us to peacefully guide our thoughts, our words, and our actions. When we are mindful of that still, small voice stirring within us, we are more conscious of using our gifts for the good of all and not to belittle or hurt anyone, right? Yeah. As we recognize the connection again and again, that Spirit is always with us, we can learn to express greater peace and greater compassion. When we are tuned in, we are more spiritually, emotionally, and intellectually clear. We learn that our natural state is one of abundance, and we are invited to always stay open to the flow of good as we prepare for our bounty. Many of us have experienced a turning point in our lives where a huge change has taken place, or perhaps is even taking place now. We may even go through a dark night of the soul encounter, where we spend much time in our quiet space and where we gain new insights or understandings that may change the course of our life forever. Anyone ever experienced that? In our stillness, our soul gets ready to take flight again, to shine our light, to express a deeper kind of love, just as we heard in Carol's song. Our soul continues to grow in awareness. We know that prayer changes everything, right? Yeah. And just as the caterpillar that quietly and reverently transforms within the cocoon, we, in our silence, in our prayer time, also transform, even at a cellular level. How we express ourselves in the world is a reflection of the state that our soul is in at any given time. And we are invited to remember daily that we are the holy light of God expressing, just as we heard Gonzalo speak of last week. Perhaps we all need to be reminded of that again and again, because there will be situations that show up in our lives that rattle our thinking. If we don't remember the truth in those moments, we may act out in ways that not only hurt others, but hurt ourselves. Joshua Loth Liebman, the best-selling author from the early 1900s, stated that, and I quote, "The great thing about life is that as long as we live, we have the privilege of growing." End of quote. We wake up every morning, and miraculously, we have been given 24 hours of precious time to live our life to the fullest. We do not wake up to be mediocre or ordinary, right? We wake up to recognize that our light is waiting to shine. Our brilliance is waiting to shimmer. Our love is waiting to be shared. Our peace is waiting to connect. Our joy is waiting to blossom. Our heart is waiting to forgive. Our kindness is waiting to be felt, and our compassion is waiting to be received. It takes self-discipline for all of us to improve ourselves, to control our habits, and to make the most of our God-given abilities. How we take charge of our own life is perhaps one of the greatest tests of our character. It's true that we achieve in this life those things that we hold in mind. Even dating back to the Upanishads, which are the sacred literature of the Hindus, it's stated there, and I quote, that man becomes that of which he thinks. And then likewise, writings of Buddha state, and I quote, the mind is everything. What you think, you become. And of Marcus Aurelius, who states, your life is what your thoughts make it. And in Proverbs, it states there, and I quote, as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. End of quotes. Isn't it remarkable that all the great teachers of every age have affirmed that a person's life, as well as one's character, has developed because of one's own thoughts and ideas held in mind? It's evident that we go into the silence, into our cocoon, if you will, and we build a life of prayer. Each of us strengthens our divine core, and that will be apparent in how we choose to show up in this life. When we remember the truth of who we really are, everything changes. And we've heard the saying that if our minds can conceive it, our hearts will believe it, and then we'll know we are able to achieve it. I invite each of you to keep showing up as your best self and stay focused on your own path. That's how you honor who you are. Have confidence within yourself that you can do and be all that you create in your mind. Thomas Edison once said, and I quote, if we all do the things we are capable of doing, we would literally astound ourselves. End of quote. This past week, I enjoyed watching Americans Got Talent. Some of you may have seen it. And there was this one young lady, 17 years of age, from Indonesia. Her name was Putri. And she was about to perform on stage in front of Simon Cowell and all the other judges. And as Simon questioned Putri, she said that it was her dream to go to Juilliard. And she also said that she wanted to be the next Whitney Houston. Part of her dream. She was escorted to the piano. She gently sat down. She got herself into position. And she closed her eyes as she became quiet and centered herself. There were several seconds of silence, and then she began to play her song. And soon after that, she began to sing and created such a heartfelt performance. She received a standing ovation from the crowd, during which time Simon went up on the stage to ask Putri to play another song. And she happily did so. And she now performed a most beautiful, exquisite rendition of "Sorry Seems to Be the Hardest Word." Another standing ovation. She then was escorted to the center of the stage, feeling very filled with emotion and joy. And Putri revealed that her first song was an original song. Of course, the audience continued with their applause. And here was this young lady from across the globe, being in America for the first time, and who was totally blind. And apparently she had been blind from birth. So Simon was so taken by the performance that he hit that golden buzzer. And in a later interview, Putri said that anyone with a disability can overcome their challenge. She spoke for herself, saying that the barrier for me is myself. I want to break the barrier. Then she spoke to the people who have perhaps the same condition that she's been dealing with, and she said, "You can do it. We are able, we are capable and equal. Don't be afraid to dream it. Be brave to reach it, and believe you can do it. I want to go out into the world. I want to share my music. I want to share my spirit." And then she said something that was very moving. She said, "I may not be able to see, but I want the world to see me." When I think about the caterpillar as it goes into the cocoon stage, it exists in the darkness, not knowing what will be. I believe it has a sense, though, of what can be as it prepares itself to come into the world again and shine in a most magnificent expression of astonishing color, and sometimes even with iridescent colors of dazzling beauty. What the caterpillar perhaps is thinking to itself is, while I'm in the darkness, in the silence, in a state of transformation, when I come out into the world, I want the world to see me and remember me for my gift to the world, my beauty and my magnificence. Likewise, the talented Putri has emerged into the world despite her living in a world of physical darkness, and she has shown the world a phenomenal artist, radiating her light to the world. And what a wonderful reminder for each of us that we all have been given the choice many times over to believe in what can be, to embrace and share our gifts, our light, our love, even with what the world has gone through in these last several years. It takes work, it takes persistence, and it takes patience. Often we have to walk by faith, not by sight. It's empowering to know that we each have unlimited potential, and we are invited to honor the butterfly potential within us. In other words, the Christ potential within us. I invite each of you to dive in every day to a sweeter kind of life and a deeper kind of divine life. Let your radiance, let the sparkles of sound shine in your life. Allowing for those sparkles to really reflect who you really are, honoring who you are. Be willing to take time to make your soul happy. And so it is. Namaste.
What a radiant light that we have here. We here at the temple are really blessed. I mean, we are really blessed with all the talent that shines through from Reverend Karmene. Thank you. It is now time for us to take our tithes and offerings into our hands. I invite our ushers to come forth. I invite those who are online watching us, if you go to tlg.org, our temple website, there is also a donate button there. We'd be happy to receive a donation. Radiant source of all life, we know as we give, we receive. We know that when we bless, we're blessed. We give thanks for that opportunity and that ability that is within us, knowing that these tithes support this church, this community, and the world. And we give thanks, and so it is. Amen. Now we'll have a wonderful song from Carol and the Goodfellows.
And you guys know this song. You've been singing with it now for 2 weeks. So on your feet, people. Sing with us. Come on. I think the lyrics are in there. Lyrics are in the program.
In order of service.
Pick up your fellow man, lend him a helping hand, put a little love in your heart.
It's getting late, but please don't hesitate. Put a little love in your heart.
And the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Another day goes by, still the children cry. Put a little love in your heart.
If you want the world to know, we won't let hatred grow. Put a little love in your heart.
And the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Wait and see. Take a good look around, and if you're looking down, put a little love in your heart.
I hope when you decide kindness will be your guide. Put a little love in your heart. And the world will be a better place. And the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait
And see. Everybody put a little love in your heart.
each and every day.
Put a little love in your heart.
There's no other way.
Put a little love in your heart.
Do it now, do it now.
Put a little love in your heart.
Put a little love in your heart. Yeah.
Woo! Happy Sunday, everyone. Don't forget, Metaphysical Forum, 12:30 in the back classroom. Come see us in the lobby, have some snacks, meet your friends, and buy a book at the bookstore.